Hello, my friends. So here we are. This one here, we're going to take a look at how to create your own digital, I'm going to call them worksheets. I know that's technically a bad term, but it is what it is. These interactive components that when we were in the classroom, maybe we hand out a paper copy, maybe we have some manipulatives, but we just don't have that when we're thinking about the online platform. But that doesn't mean that we can't recreate some of this, and we can't design the things that we want, that we need for our students. So this video is going to take a look at how can we use Google Slides to create some pretty cool things. Things that I'm seeing as I'm working with teachers and even my own children is how do we start to create these digital templates, these slides, these interactive pieces where the kids don't mess up what we don't want them to mess up, but at the same time bringing in some of this interactive stuff that we took for granted in the face-to-face environment. So let's get into it. We're going to take a look at just several different things, lots of different tools, and then I'll give you an opportunity to kind of play around with this to create something for us to learn from and see your work in progress. So let's dive into this work here. And so what we've got here is just a blank Google slide. I'm going to call this digital worksheet template. Now, one of the things that we want to take a look at is how do we create stuff for our students and to be able to work in and do some things like that. So I'm going to create just a generic one. I'm not saying this is perfect or earth-shattering, but at least it's a way in which we can create some interactive stuff. So the first one here is just simply creating your own. Whether this is a graphic organizer or it's a layout or whatever it might be. So this could be something as simple as the following. Let's say that we want to have a kids read an article. So let's just say we want to use this article here, or it's a short story that you have access and permission to. And I just want to have this just a small section within the Google slide for them to maybe mark up, but I don't want them to delete stuff. Kids don't know how to get into this. And so one thing you could do is you could take the context. Obviously, you have to cite and make sure you're using stuff you have access and have credit to be able to use, so we don't get worried, dinged in there with copyright and all that. And I'm going to put in just a text box here. And then let's just put in one more, and let's just say, and this isn't going to be real fancy, directions. I want you to underline 3 nouns. I don't know, something like that. Okay, now this is not super fancy. I can make this text box. I can clean this up. Maybe I fill it in so it stands out here a little bit with a light blue. I change my fonts, whatever it might be. Boom, here it is. But when I want to share this in the Google Classroom with the students, I don't want them to accidentally delete these words, things like that. So what you can do, a very simple type model, is I can go here to File. I'm going to download this as a JPEG. Okay, and when this downloads, as you can see down here in the corner, then I'm going to have this opportunity here to then make this the backdrop of my work. And so what's going to happen there's a download. I'm actually going to create a new presentation. This is going to be the presentation that I'm going to share with the students. And so I would call this, digital worksheet student version, or however you want to name your stuff. So I've got my master template here that I'm creating, and then I've got the student version. And what I would do then is I'm just going to delete these text boxes out, and I'm going to go here to the background button. I'm going to choose an image, and I'm just going to drag this in there. Now, like I said, this is not fancy at all by any means whatsoever, but now it's here. So now look at this. They can't move this. It's stuck. So now that they could go in and they could use the pen or pencil and they could do the underlining and things like that, but I don't have to worry about them messing this up. So the same thing would hold true, if we were to make, our own graphic organizer. Okay, maybe we want to have, I don't know, let's just put in, maybe we want to compare something along these lines. We have 3 columns comparing characters we could do the same thing, putting in our instructions, designing the way we want, however you want to create it with all your stuff on there. You would download it, and then you would load it into the backdrop, and the kids can't mess with it. And so it starts to become really helpful that way. But let's say there's something that you want. Maybe you have a huge collection. You already have an electronic version of a series of worksheets or pages that normally you would kind of work through a graphic organizer, so your textbook company or things like that. A tool that I would highly recommend you explore then is pdftoimage. This is going to allow you to load up, your 50-page packet, whatever it is that you're using, and it'll create a zip file of all those individually as pages. And so then you can then just import those in as you need. And so one of the cool things that you can do with a Google Slide that you may or may not know is I can go here to File, I can go to Page Setup, and I can change how this looks. And so I could go here and I could make my dimensions 8.5 by 11, which is a normal size sheet of paper. All right, now I'm not going to want this particular image because I designed it for a different slide, but I can now go here where this is a regular looking piece of paper, and now when I go to load up those graphics or those documents, it's going to look professional. So in there, let's say in the teacher toolkit, let's take a look at this. Here's a graphic organizer. I think it's a Venn diagram. Nothing too fancy here. But look at, we have this here as a Word document. So now what do? There is another wonderful tool that I like called pdfcandy. And so then what you can do here is you can pretty much, if you've never used this tool, convert anything you need to any format that you need. So the first step that I would do is I'm going to convert this Word document to a PDF. Okay, so I'm going to get this converted to a PDF. Doesn't take very long. So this is going to help you depending on what graphics you are. If you already have one created or a place that you really like, you're going to have that information. So it's going to take that Word document, make it a PDF. I'm going to hit download. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this Word or this PDF then to a JPEG. So now I'll just drag that PDF in here. I can see the shape there. Medium quality, low quality. I'm going to do medium because it's just a Venn diagram. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download this. Now this particular graphic organizer doesn't look like this kind of sheet of paper. It actually looks like it's printing, landscape. So we can go to Page Setup here. Now I'm going to make this 11 by 8.5. So now we're in landscape. And now that I've got this, there it is. There's my JPEG file. I'm going to go to background. I'm going to choose this image, and I can load this in here. And now, using stuff that maybe I've already done, there it is. Now they can't mess with it. Now, a couple things that are going to be really important as you put these in the student versions are the text boxes, letting them know where you want them to type. And so I might in here, insert this text box of where I want them to add their information. And I can create this whatever size I want. But a couple things that is important for you to think about. One, put a border in. It maybe doesn't have to be that thick, but a place for them to know where it's going to be. All right, and I might make this stand out here a little bit. And then I might even put in a message type here. Now they're going to have to delete that, but at least they would have an idea of where that's at. And if for some reason you want it in a different font, do all that ahead of time. So now that I got this text box here, I could just copy this and I can just paste it where I want it, and I could go through. I don't have to redesign all those little steps every single time. Now here for the inside of this, I might have to shrink this down. And you can kind of play around with this. And so now when they go to get this copy, they can't mess up the Venn diagram, but they can type in these text boxes of information, and that's what I want to see. And so using a tool like pdfcandy allows you to convert pretty much anything you need into, eventually, it might take 1 or 2 steps, into a JPEG for you to have. if you have a huge series of images or graphics that you want, a whole entire Word thing or electronic version, this PDF to image will do all those for you so they look nice. You can add that to the backdrop. Now, here's one my wife has done. I'm actually going to segue this over to her so she can explain. She's been dabbling with this and she's been using it for math. So what she did was, and I don't want to goof this up, is she created the backdrop, which was the instructions here. Is this a right triangle? Drag the square areas to match up. And then she put these questions in right here that you can see in these bullets. That was the backdrop. And then once she created that, she went back in and then she created these images for the kids to be able to manipulate. So as a kid, I can work through here and I'm trying to figure out what the area is going to be. I can move these triangles around. It kind of becomes a manipulative in some respect, as I can shuffle little things. They can type their answers in here, and then that's what she's going to be looking at. And she has had some success. She has found some more value in this than some things that she was doing previously. So this is just a couple quick ways for you to kind of think about creating your digital worksheets. And here's what I thought we could do. I'm going to give you two options to apply this and then share your learning so that we can learn from you here in this collaborative group. Number one, try to create one of your graphic organizers in this model and then share to the Google Geeking PD classwork so we can learn. Number two, try to create a weekly agenda. So one of the things I'm trying to do is, as we think about organizing ourselves, also creating an agenda to help organize our students. And I know there's lots of things already being created, but a nice little template that maybe you could use to fill out to give to yourself, your parents, and your students. All right? And so you have those things as well. The last thing that I want to show you, as we were thinking about manipulatives here with these graphics and things like that, is let's do something like this. Let's go, we're going to create a new slide. All right, and let's do this. Can you make proper change for let's say $1.85? All right, so let's do this, and let's say we want to bring in some coins for this operation. So I'm going to create a shape here. And I'm going to put a nice little border around this. Let's get this looking nice. Let's make this green for money. Let's fill this in here with a lighter green. All right. I'm going to go ahead and equalize this. I'm going to make this bold. All right, and then I'm going to raise this up just like so. Now, and actually that's not even a good question. Let's fix this. Can you show how much $1.85 is using all four types of coins? All right, better question here. And I'm actually going to raise this up to get this here looking good. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to file, I'm going to download this as a JPEG. I'm going to insert a new slide. I'm going to go to background. I'm going to choose this image. I'm going to drag this in. Done. I'm going to get these text boxes out of the way. Now, check this out. Let's say I import a series of coins. So here's my quarter that I'm going to use for this activity. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to hit Control V or Command V, depending on what device you're on, and get a series of quarters. Okay, and I'm going to put this all in a stack for them to use. So what you can do then is I can take all these, they're going to be highlighted. I'm going to go to Arrange, and I'm going to go to Center, and then I'm going to do this again and pick Middle. And look at, now they're all right here for the kids to use. And now they can just drag one at a time to start to make this change. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this for the rest of the coins here. And now I'm going to have these stacked. So now I've got some digital manipulatives, and now they can drag these up, one at a time to try to create the $1.85. So just, there's so many possibilities to what we can do to create what we need, depending on the learning of the kids and what we used to do in the classroom. So I hope you found this helpful. Just trying to give you some ideas, some food for thought. I want you to be your own professional. You can do this. You can create this work. You have it within yourself to do that. You pick and pull from the resources you have, and you make it work for you. So I hope you have found this helpful. I can't wait to see your work, share your examples, ask your questions, and let's get to creating so we can get some quality learning done for our students. All right, my friends, as always, stay awesome. Peace.